Hi, my kindergarten friends. I hope you're having a fantastic day. This week, we are going to learn about patterns. Patterns is when a design repeats itself. We're going to make patterns with colors. So the first pattern I'm going to show you is between orange and purple. So if I have purple, and then next comes orange, to repeat my pattern that I've started, my next color is going to be purple. So now it goes purple, orange, purple, and I want to repeat that same color again. So my next color is gonna be orange. Right here, I created a pattern. It goes purple, orange, purple, orange. That's the pattern that I made. Let's try to make another pattern together. This time, I'm gonna start with red. All right, after red, I need to pick another color. I'm gonna pick orange. So my pattern goes red, orange, and now I need to repeat it. It's going to go red, orange. What comes next in our pattern? What color did we start with? We started with red, so that's gonna come next. It's gonna be the third one in our pattern. What did we do after red? Orange, yeah. So the next color in our pattern is going to be orange. Let's see if we did our pattern right. It goes red, orange. Next we have to repeat. Did we do red? Yeah, we did red, good. Orange, red, orange, red, orange. That's a pattern. Let's see what might not be a pattern. So if I start with orange, and next comes purple, and then I do purple again. Ugh, that's not a pattern. I missed orange because that's what we started with. Orange, purple, orange, next comes purple. You could do a pattern like this in your artwork that goes orange, purple, if you would like. You choose what two colors and then you repeat them to make a pattern. I hope you have fun making a pattern in your flower artwork that we created last time. You're also going to get to have lots of fun painting those beautiful flowers that you created. All right, are we ready? Let's go. All right, my kindergarten friends, we're going to get started on our flower artwork with our watercolors today. That's right, we're gonna get to paint today, yay! All right, to get started, what you're gonna need is your flower artwork from last class. You're going to need a cup with some water. You're going to need a paintbrush. You're also going to need a watercolor palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. We are going to be painting our flowers and our tablecloth. First, we're going to talk about our tablecloth. We've created all these squares, and I want you to try to create a pattern with your colors. A pattern is when you repeat something, meaning if I painted this one red and the next one yellow, I want to repeat that same set of colors in my next squares. I'm going to show you. So I'm going to get some water on my paintbrush and I need to wake up this paint. I need to rub my paintbrush around on that red paint in order to get it full of color. You want to be holding your paintbrush way down here, just like a pencil. You don't want to hold it way up here. You want to hold it right down here so that you can have control of that painty tip to your paintbrush. And I'm going to paint my first square or rectangle red. Then I'm going to rinse my brush, swishy, swishy, swish it around, kind of scrubbing the bottom of my cup. I'm gonna wipe it on the lip, and I'm gonna go to my yellow paint. The next square I'm going to paint, I'm going to make it yellow. Okay, so that's my pattern. I want to go red, yellow, and then I want to repeat. So my next color would be red. I'm gonna rinse my paintbrush, get my red, and paint my next square red. After red is going to be yellow. Okay, I repeated one time, now I'm gonna repeat it again. I'm going to go, I just did yellow, so next comes red. And after red, what comes next in my pattern? Yellow, good. I'm gonna paint my whole tablecloth using this pattern. You can choose whatever color pattern you want. Pick 2 colors and continue your pattern. You could do blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. If you wanted, you choose whatever 2 colors you want for your pattern. And paint your tablecloth using that pattern. All right, I'm gonna paint my tablecloth, okay? Again, you choose what color pattern you want to use in your tablecloth. Then we're going to paint our flowers and our vase. When you use your watercolor, the more water you add to your paint, the more see-through your colors will be. The less water you have, the darker they will be. So when you go to paint your flowers, maybe you can try to paint some things that are really dark and some things that are a little bit more see-through or translucent. More water equals clearer paint. Less water equals darker paint. This one's really watery, but I could paint this one to be darker green because it doesn't have as much water with it. This one's darker and this one's lighter because this one has more water. Next, I'm going to go and paint my flowers. When I paint my flowers, I want to be really careful to paint inside my lines. When changing colors, follow these steps. That way we don't mix the colors in our paint palette. Water, paint, paper. I'm gonna do one flower petal really dark, and the next one I'm gonna want it to be really light. So I'm gonna add more water with my paint in a pattern like I did at the bottom. Okay, this petal, I want it to be really light. So I'm going to add more water to my paint. I made a dark light pattern with my flower petals. Dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. I did that by adding more water to my paint to get lighter petals and less water for the darker petals. Go ahead and paint all your flowers, and then I'll check back in with you in a little bit. I've painted all my flowers. Now, I want to show you another painting technique. If you take your paintbrush and dry off the bristles of the brush and make it really pointy with your fingers, get a nice little tip to your paintbrush, you can dip it in the paint, just the tiniest little tip in the paint, and then take that paintbrush and you can create little tiny stipples of color. This is called stippling. When you make a pointy paintbrush and create little dots of color, that is called stippling. You could do that in the center of your flowers to give it some texture if you would like. Make that pointy tip to your paintbrush, dip it in your paint, and dot it onto your paper. It works great for the center of your flowers. This one looks kind of like a sunflower center now. Maybe on top of this one, I want to create some orange dots on the top of the yellow. I'm dotting that paintbrush on the paper to make little dots of color. That's called stippling. The last thing you have to paint is your vase. You can choose any color you want for your vase. I think I'm going to paint my vase just a black color. I'm going to use a lot of water so that it looks gray. I'm going to keep adding some water from my water cup so that it looks like a kind of grayish black. Oh no, we got some green in there. That's okay. That's okay. All right. I have completely painted my artwork with my watercolors. Remember to hold your paintbrush like a pencil. Remember, you gotta wake up these paints by adding some water. And also remember, the more water you use, the more clear or lighter your color will be. If you don't use much water at all, your paint will be dark, like this dark green right here. Remember those tips when you go to paint your watercolor painting. I hope you have fun creating your masterpiece, and I can't wait to see what you create. Have fun!